Hey friends, how are you? We are going to have a great week today. You caught me looking at our book we're going to read today. This author that we're going to look at today's name is Peter H. Reynolds, and he has so many amazing books, but I want to read you this first one today, and then we'll talk about what you're dressed up as, and then we'll look at some of the other books that he has. But this is called The North Star. And then at the bottom, right down here at the bottom, on the cover, it says, ask yourself where it is you want to go. Here's our title page. Now the title page kind of comes at the beginning of the book, and it tells you the name of the book, and it'll tell you the author. And if there's an illustrator, which is somebody that does the pictures, it might have their name on there too. But it looks like he did both because there's only one name. The North Star. A sweet breeze met the boy as he awoke to his journey. He traveled on all fours for quite some time, and he grew. And he paused. One day, he had the urge to stand, to walk. It made his journey easier, for he could run too. For the most part, he walked. He wasn't afraid of much. Oh, you see him smelling those flowers? He wandered the fields, exploring and sometimes stopping, sometimes going happily in circles and sometimes dancing, sometimes napping. One day, the boy saw an oak leaf drift and land on the water. He wondered how the leaf managed to float, the way the stars seemed to float in the night sky. A spray of sand interrupted his thoughts. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" asked the boy. See the little bunny? But the rabbit shot out of sight, disappearing onto the path the boy had never noticed before. See that right there? It says, this way. And there goes the bunny. The boy left the floating leaf and wandered toward the path. And there he saw a cat. The cat purred gently. Where did the rabbit go in such a hurry? The boy asked the cat. He was in a rush to start his journey. It's time for you to start your journey too. This way. Oh, but I have been on a journey, the boy cried. I have seen many wonderful things. Sometimes I understand and some I don't. Like how that leaf floats on the water. Well, that's fascinating, but I'd hate for you to be late. You don't want to be left behind. Behind? Who's ahead of me? You wouldn't believe how many. You know, you're not the only one on this journey. Plenty ahead of you, lots to follow. The boy began walking down the path. It stretched out far ahead of him. And there's signs. This way, this way, this way. Signs kept pointing him along the way. Some parts of the journey were easy, and some were very difficult. Whoa, look at that. Oh dear. Sometimes the pages get stuck. Although he was following the well-worn path, he had a growing feeling that he was lost. The forest seemed to be growing thicker. The soil was wet and muddy, making every step a struggle. Clouds had rolled in overhead, and the darkness closed in around him. After many difficult miles, he could not take another step. He noticed an oak leaf drift from the sky, and it sailed with ease. It swirled on a breeze and was carried deep into the forest. The leaf disappeared behind a grove of trees. He stepped off the path to follow it. This is a brand new book and I can't get the pages apart. The boy found the leaf floating on a pond in a peaceful clearing, like a delicate boat on a dreamy voyage. His thoughts were interrupted by a voice. "Oh, there you are. I was worried," said the cat. "Don't wander off like that. Now hurry, you're falling behind." So the boy ran and ran and ran, and as he ran, he noticed the forest getting darker and thicker. The muddy ground became covered with water, and he could no longer see the path. He sloshed through the swamp until he came to a clearing in the forest, and there he saw a bird. "You look lost," said the bird. "I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm lost," the boy replied. "I really hadn't thought about it." "Hadn't thought about it," said the bird. "You must have some idea of where you're going, yes?" "Well, I've been following the path. It seems as if many people have taken it before me, and there have been many signs along the way, and a very helpful cat guided me back to the path when I started to wander." The crickets fell silent as the bird asked, "But where do you want to be going?" I'm not sure," said the boy as he looked around at the dark, tangled swamp. "But I do know that this isn't where I want to be. I guess I am lost." The bird said, "Ask yourself where it is you want to go, and then follow the signs you already know." "What signs? Where are they?" But the bird flew off into the cloudy night sky. The boy looked up into the sky, and something he had not done in a very, very long time. He tried desperately to see where the bird had gone, and as he did, the clouds seemed to melt. And there above him was a star, a very bright star. The boy stared at the star and felt a pang in his heart, a tingling in his spine, and a whisper in his ear. He could hear the star. The voice sounded so familiar. The boy began to walk toward the star, and as he did, he noticed many other stars stretched out above him like a great big map. They had been there all the time, all along, waiting for him. He stopped and rested a moment, savoring his guiding stars. "What are you staring at?" croaked a voice behind him. "What is up there? What's so interesting?" The boy waded closer and answered, "Stars. I'm looking at the stars." "What stars?" asked the frog. "I see a dark sky and a mist and a low green clouds." "You don't see them?" the boy asked. "They're helping guide me out of the swamp. Would you like to come with me?" "No, thank you," the frog smiled. "I'm quite at home here in the bog. I swam here as a tadpole and grew up here, and here I will stay." The boy realized at that moment that everyone has a different journey and different signs and different stars, their own constellations. The boy left the frog, who croaked a farewell. "Good luck on your journey." As he ventured beyond the swampy forest, the boy heard a cry. It was the rabbit, who had been in such a hurry earlier, looking tired and hungry. He was stranded on a limb in the middle of a rushing river. Oh no. The boy waded out but realized the river was too deep. The rabbit was trapped. Then he saw an oak leaf drift by, and that gave him an idea. The boy fashioned a boat out of swamp grass and twigs and rescued the rabbit. The boy smiled, having helped to make the rabbit's journey easier. The boy looked up and he noticed that the star had become even brighter. He followed the star, and as he did, the muddy ground grew drier, then grassy, and then soft and sandy. Finally, he came to rest atop a dune. There below him was the beach and a boat. The boy looked out toward the horizon. The star glowed steadily, reminding him that he still had a long journey ahead. But it was his own journey, his very own wonderful journey. And that's the end. Oh, that little boy had started out on a big journey to get where he wanted to go. And you all are dressed up like different things you might want to be when you grow up. So there could be somebody dressed up like a doctor or a ballerina or a teacher or a veterinarian or lots of different things. And your journey to get to that place, some of it might be very easy and some of it might be very hard. But no matter what part of your journey is on, keep your eyes focused. Now, I don't know if Peter Reynolds would think that his North Star was anything like I might think of God. But I know on my journey, if I keep my eye on God, kind of like that North Star, God's going to lead me right where I need to be on my journey. I hope you liked this book. I thought that was very, very nice. And I loved kind of the very simple, sweet little drawings that he made. Let me show you some of the other books. He's got lots. This one is called Sky Color. This one's called Ish. This one is called The World Needs Your Voice. This one is called I Am Yoga. The Water Princess. This is one of my favorites too. If you haven't ever read this, oh my goodness, you need to read it. It's called The Dot. This one is called I Am Human. This one is called I Am Peace. Ooh, this one looks fun. This is called Happy Dreamer. I love all these illustrations. And one more. Well, there's two more actually. This one is called Be You. And then the last one I have to show you is called The Museum. Now, I haven't read a lot of these. I've read The Dot and a couple of others. But again, Mr. Reynolds is a great author and makes you think about things that you're doing, especially in The Dot. This was a fun one. You know what? We might have time to read that one real quick. It's not a very long one. Let's read it real quick. It's called The Dot. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Oh, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now, sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. So she's going to write her name. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in a swirly gold frame. Humph! I can make a better dot than that. So she opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A yellow dot, a green dot, a red dot, a blue dot. Then blue mixed with the red, and she discovered that she could make a purple dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on a bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. See what she did? She painted around. And what did she leave in the middle? That's left in the middle looks like a white dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Look at all the different colored dots she made. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her.
You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw, he said.
I bet you can, said Vashti.
Me? No, not me. I can't draw a line. Not a straight line, even with a ruler.
Vashti smiled, and she handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. Show me. The little boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, what do you think she's going to tell him? Please sign it. Vashti didn't think she could paint or draw or do any of that except write her name. And all it took was one simple dot to show Vashti that she could do so much more. And I bet that little boy at the end is going to be able to do so much more with that one line than he ever thought possible. So don't ever give up. Okay? Remember, stay on your journey. And then like this little dot, don't ever give up. All right. Thanks, friends. We'll have another video tomorrow. Happy reading. Bye-bye.